buy how much less money.
Many things would say.
Good morning.
That's the
Flowers, I'm the principal Kerner today. We're going to be starting in about 8 minutes in the recital hall. So please make your way into the recital hall for our opening keynote. Thank you.
The LA Convergence is a day of collaboration and conversation for those working to make Los Angeles a healthy, vibrant, and prosperous region through arts and culture. This year's theme is Building the Next LA, and our focus is on listening, asking questions, and learning. We have 25 presenters, the majority working outside the arts and culture silo. It is our hope that you will be exposed to unfamiliar and different ways of thinking today, and that you will consider new ideas, big and small, on how to advance the role arts and culture play in building our shared future. Our opening speaker is a language researcher and author of the book, Don't Buy It, The Trouble with Talking Nonsense About the Economy. As a strategic communications consultant, she has conducted multiple studies on how people reason about clean energy, sex education, economic justice, immigrants, and women's rights. A few of her clients have included the Ford Foundation, the Ms. Foundation, the Open Society Foundation, and the Congressional Progressive Caucus. She suggests that art can bring to the fore certain perceptions about how the world works and shape how people come to judgments about political issues. Exploring these cultural shifts can help us be deliberate about changing common sense so that the ideas we dream become realities. We are thrilled to have with us today, and please welcome Anat Shenker Osorio.
Thank you so much for having me. You know, a big thing that we've been talking about is the creative economy. And hearing you talk about the economy, this is, you know, a lifeblood force and point of advocacy for us. How do we talk about the value of the creative economy without getting into that frame of economy is God, that paradigm that you just set up for us?
I finally made it. I know. We had to have 200 people. I know. Yeah. I just heard from my friend.
I knew that I was like waiting for those pieces, so I was like, I gotta be around.
River views. But these are green access points. These are not dead ends. These are not places where chain link fences should be. These are places where benches and art and culture and life should exist.
Hi everyone, my name is Rudy. I work at Learn. I'm the executive director of Learn, which is a community development organization that works on policy and economic development projects in LA and in other cities. I also have the interesting opportunity, the unique opportunity of serving as the interim executive director of Self-Help Graphics and Art, which is one of the most historic arts institutions in the country, but especially on the east side, nurturing Chicano artists for over 40 years.
But I don't want to talk about the income. I want to talk about the outgoing cash. I want to talk about your balance sheets. I think that we've made a decision as a business to have 60% of the money that we spend be with arts businesses, artists, or art-related employers. And that's not our staff. That's not including our staff. That's all money that we spend outside of our staff fees.
It's funny because I spend most of my time now speaking with urban planners, people who are interested in water, access to water, access, transportation planning, resiliency, earthquakes, disasters, about the value of the arts. And I felt really nervous coming back to a community of the arts to say, let's talk about the role for the arts in cities, even though that's really what I do all the time. But I'd like to start, since I am like old school art, to start by asking permission of the elders, my elders in the room, if I can speak.
I also am a lawyer, love art, but I'm a lawyer, and so it's such When we started Community Build in 1992, while the fires in Leimert Park were still smoldering, the decision was that we wanted to not join Rebuild LA, that we had the issues that we knew, things that led to the civil unrest was what had to be addressed, not to rebuild what had been there. Leimert Park was very consciously chosen because it was historically, since the 1960s, mid-60s, had been where African American culture and commerce had flourished. And it had been very distinctly in an African American, African diaspora environment. I come to you today with my pitch, and I come in my feeling having been a catalyst some 22 years ago when we started this, and Leimert Park, which had been very vibrant, had lost a lot. Not only did we lose the businesses that were burned down, but we also had seen other things like the original Brockman Gallery to Dale and Alonzo were no longer there, that a number of the artists who had really created some of the original live workspace were no longer there.
At that same moment, I was having a series of conversations with Paul Farmer from Partners in Health about his work in Rwanda and the fact that why would he ever work with an architect to build a hospital? And we started building what at that time would be a regional district hospital for Kigali in Butaro, Rwanda. I spent the next 2 to 3 years in Rwanda building that hospital and training 10,000 men and women how to build, and created 4 different trades from that one hospital. I realized that there was this connection between mentorship and building and youth that I hadn't been taught could exist, but really does in architecture. This is a classic paradigm, as we all know from cathedrals or the UNAM Mexico City campus. So I came back to LA and I really wanted to create that linkage. And people said, well, what have you built? I said, well, look at these hospitals I've built. And people said, that doesn't, like, that's Africa, so I mean, and what we've since been doing is a series of projects that look at the intersection between community need and development drivers, and saying there's a big space here to create plans with teeth and to do things that are implementable. The mayor has just said that he wants to hire 10,000 youth, and he has a big push for this, but you look on their website and there's nothing to talk about how that tangibly breaks down and what that means. We were just on Wilmington Corridor for 4 months and we managed to hire 30 youth and train a whole bunch of Woodbury architecture students in tandem for the 2 to collaborate on street furniture, signage, to completely overhaul 11 businesses in 6 weeks.
Through organization. When is it not about France? That hospital. We were just like taking videos and photographs, but it is,
I love to use food as a bait and switch tactic to help people open the door for inspiration. Because I feel like, in terms of artistic, and creativity, kind of like, having an epiphany. I don't know how would you have basically an epiphany. Sometimes you have to have the door open for people to walk through. Like sometimes I go crazy, and I'm around people that are not so crazy. They're like, you know what? I mean, I can be a little bit more crazy because that guy's having fun, and I can do it too. So, okay, the pitch ultimately is with food. I'm sorry, you're laughing. Don't laugh at me. So, how can we use food and any inspirations of using food as a way to lure people in to help expand people's awareness of what they can do creatively? And that can be professionally, that can be artistically, or what have you. And I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm the last one, so thank you.
We have desserts.
So it was just
Yeah, I've had it now. I mean, I don't want like real
Oh, it's a good spot up here, isn't it?
We're learning.
We encourage you to share today's events with your networks. Use the hashtag ConvergeLA and tag us at Arts4LA. Both are listed in your program.